I'm sorry I'm a little late. I ran into some unexpected, what's the term? Human, natural things that I basically had restroom issues. So I do, I do apologize. Um, I do want to thank you for being here, though. Yes, today is a solo chat, and yeah, I know it's a day, but yeah, I was like, am I gonna make it or not? It's like, well, uh, this is not gonna be pretty. So, whoops. So, but I do apologize for that. Sorry, I'm trying to get everything set up because I gotta go check my other stuff. So, anyway, thank you again for being here. I know I had to stream yesterday. I know it's kind of weird, right? Like I had to stream yesterday, and then of course I'll have a stream tomorrow, and then Friday, so I'll have a stream. You know, I try not to do too much, but I do try to keep a what's it? I do try to keep a relative sameness of like what's the word? I do try to keep a relative sameness of like consistency, right? Like I want to keep a some form of a show that's consistent on time wise. So that's why Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Um, but yeah, when I have extra people, like a guest or whatever, um, the time thing is a little wonky just because da-da-da, there we go. It's a bit wonky because of course someone else is gonna be on, so just do what you do on that one. But yeah, I'm here. I'm here to have a good time. To talk to all of you or to none of you, just depends, right? Like it could just be me here all day long, just talking to myself, blah blah blah, as you've seen before. As you've seen before, me talking to myself. Obviously, I look like a weirdo. But anyway, so how are all of you? I know for some today is a bit good, a bit bad. Today for me was somewhere in the middle. It was alright. It wasn't the greatest, but it was alright. Um, Unfortunately, however, nature has returned a bit as it has snowed again. Because yesterday it was like 70 something degrees. I'm like, oh, goodness. And today it's like snow's like, oh well. So you should warm up the rest of the week. But it's kind of hard. Kind of hard. I got to write a little thing. Mm, 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 mm. Let's see. Go, go. Uh, now, how do you spell it? I spell it like that. Okay. Anyway, yes. It's always something, right? I do something away from what I was doing, and I can't remember. It's like, what was I talking about before? It's like with yesterday with JT, which is awesome, by the way. I'm glad JT was able to come on. Uh, I am in the progress for a few more. I have a few 2 weeks. Next week, yeah, I have about 2 weeks in advance so far. Um, and then next week is going to be interesting. I do have maybe one or two people for that, so it's not like I'm not going to go without somebody for the week. It's just I still again like yesterday. I still have to get out there. I still have to communicate in essence, try to get someone on. Doesn't mean someone's gonna be on. I don't know. If not, it'll just be me Monday, Wednesday, Friday by myself. All by myself. Dun, 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 dun. Talking to the void. the incessant chatter of what's going on today. That should be a show title for a show. That should be a title for a show. Oh, you can tell it's been a long day. Well, what do you have to drink? I've Florida. Um, no, it's been a day, but I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for anyone stops by to watch. I'm not like all these content creators who have a lot of people watching at the same time. I know some people have goals of like, oh, how many followers will you have? How many people would you watching by the time? And and for me, it's just like I don't really have a number to hit per se. It's just like if they want to come on and watch, let them come on and watch. I'll try and get people on to watch. And yesterday there were some people on to watch, and it went well so far. So, but at the end of the day, it's about what you again, like I was asked said myself. It's about what you want to put in it and what you want to get out of it. Expectations, self expectations, and external expectations, or what do you want to call it? Uh, Whatever. But anyway, so okay, let's get to my bag. But anyway, it's been a nice day so far, and I look forward to tomorrow with Miss Jen. I look tomorrow Friday. Sorry, I look forward to Friday with the Pay It Forward stream and I am Nibs. That's right, I am Nibs. Oh man, it's been a long day. So I was trying to think of what would be good stuff to say. Oh, I'm almost at 100. Huh. Oh, I'm almost at 100 on Rumble. Yeah, 100 followers. I'm still, of course, at like 29 for YouTube, but it's whatever. Again, everything after having a conversation with someone or getting to have a conversation with someone is a bonus. But it's weird, right? It's so weird. 7, 8 months ago, I didn't think it'd be here. I didn't think I'd even get one follower, or maybe one follower, but I wouldn't get like 98 followers like on Rumble, right? So I I try not to be, very pronounceable like everyone else. There's creators on Rumble are just like, yeah, yeah, look, I'm almost certain amount away from this number or some amount. For me, it's just like, I'll celebrate it when I hit it, but then after that, I'm kind of like, let's get back to it. You know, I, I guess you could say I'm a bit weird on either like you, how many people you have following you, how many people you get to watch you and or donate or whatever it is, and I'm just like, eh, I don't want to sound like those um, content creators because I'm not. To me, it sounds very. What's the word? It's like a glorified, a self-glorified praise. Like, oh, look at me! I did this thing. I get lots of people. Yay! And there's nothing wrong with improvement, right? Like you've done for a while. Like I look. I know I'm not a professional at this. If you were to look at me, right, if you look at me and and all this stuff, right? Like it's just turn the camera, boom, boom, or Uncle Pudge. Uncle Pudge would have more professionality done. Lumpy Potato would have more professionality done uh, than I do. Because I'm not all. I mean, there is someone I've commissioned to do some formal work. Obviously, there won't be. I can't get anything until tomorrow because I do work a full time job. Um, but for me, it's just like the little. For me, it's great to celebrate those milestones, like, oh, 100, uh, almost 800 followers. Oh, almost 30 followers on YouTube, or almost so and so amount watching me, and all this stuff. That's I feel that's kind of a necessity, but for me, it feels like it takes me out of being humble, right? Because for me, I've got to stay humble about this, no matter what. Doesn't matter how long I've been doing this. Doesn't matter of what, um, of how I look at this. I've got to stay humble about it because people tend to forget, and they tend to get, um, what's the word? They tend to get very self-centeredness, I guess. I don't know if that's the word. And for me, I just come on and do this like I don't, and it's production value. It's like, what kind of production value to provide? Well, my camera autofocuses. I don't, I don't put too much high tailorment into like having all this array of stuff in order to be like, oh, he's getting up there. Look at him all this time, and he's still doing it. He's still great. He's whatever. Um, I don't know. I guess I'm just weird about it. But for me, it's just like I try to one stay humble about it while having a great time on it, because this can all go away. It can all go away. There's always something that comes up, and you're just like, well, I can't do it anymore because interferes or whatever. And I try not to do this during a time when it interferes with my job, right? But it's so, I don't know. I feel like I should be like, I'm almost at 100 followers on Rumble, 30 on YouTube, but it's almost like e- you know, I don't know. I'm weird. I'm weird. Yeah, yeah. If you ever figured it out, I'm weird. I'm weird enough as it is. Come on, guys, cut me some slack. I think that scene from Airplane. Cut me some slack, Jack. Hmm. Oh yeah, but no, it's not wrong. There, I think it was earlier this week. What was that? It was either earlier this week or last week where um it's either Uncle Pudge or Lumpy. We're talking about, you kind of just have to, if it, when you do something like this, you kind of just have to act like there's 100,000 people watching you, or 10,000, whatever it was, to just keep going, because you kind of just have to, because um, it kind of can get disheartening when it's like, oh, no one's watching me, and what's the point? Blah 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 blah. It's whatever. But when it's my turn, you're in my house. You're in my house now. You get to see the mind. The mind works in mysterious ways. I'm Mr. Mysterious. Stuff like that. Because it's either I have fun with it, I laugh at myself, and maybe people will view it, or I just be like those people like, welcome to another stream of me. I don't. I can have fun with this because at the end of the day, it's what I put in and what I expect out of it. And what I expect out of it, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't expect anything out of this when I started. I was so un unsure of if I would. Right? I know Rumble's still up and building and all stuff, but to have this thing that just almost anyone can do, and you don't know if you'll be successful or not at it, and you want to feel some success, like, yes, it's working, and all that jazz. And I'm just like, I just want to have fun with this. I don't know how. I don't know what I'll talk about. I don't know whether the sun will set or rise. I'm just here. Just here. I'm a silly guy. I'm a silly person. I got words. I got words. I get the big words. I get so many big words. So beautiful. So wonderful. So amazing. But no, yeah, I did. I did enjoy getting to have JT on because he seemed like a nice dude, and to notice and For him to say he's been doing it for 10 years, that's a long time to do something. Now I'm glad that he has, he's able to be self-able for his family, like work home stuff, but not everybody can do that. And yeah, it's a weird thing. I'd like to be able to do that, but it's all up in the air of wanting to try and stuff. So you do where you can, you try where you can, you try to improve. Like I mean, I get. I would say that after every show, right? After every show I've done with someone else, I've always asked, like, what is it? I've always asked, how did it go for you? How do you feel about it? What this, that, whatever. Because not. If I were to ask, like, if you watch my show, right? Let me just do it, right? Even if I know no one's gonna say anything. What do you think, right? What kind of feedback would you give me? Like, cause I don't, I can't build any form of feedback from the void, right? That's just not how it works. But if you're seeing this, if you're watching this, what kind of feedback would you have for me? Like, am I doing it all right? Like, there was a feedback from Miss Snow about doing like headshot stuff, like um, having that as my profile pic, you know. But yeah, I can ask like, what is the feedback on me? What do you think? Blah 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 blah. See if that will get anywhere. But yeah, if you have some constructive criticism, not like you suck, that's not helpful. That's not helpful at all. Come on, guys. Um, yeah, it's just you kind of just have to ask. I ask my guests how they felt about it after, and then I just like if someone has any criticism, constructive criticism, whatever, after one of a show. I'd be like, oh yeah, you could be this. Now there are some of those scammer ones, right? Like say, I can help you improve your so and so. I'm like, yeah, you're not in it to help me. So, but yeah, and again, like for these shows, the Darachat one, I've never know if I'll make it to an hour or not because I'm always like, what do I do? What do I do? Um, but I always try, and that's like the GI Joe thing. And knowing is half the battle. Don't burn your leg. What? Oh man, but I enjoy it all the same. Whether or not I get constructive criticism, whether or not I get more followers, or um, whether I'm gonna get followers, donos, likes, whatever. I enjoy doing this, even if I do just end up talking to the void because I don't. If I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really like the job I do. It's a bit easy. Not this, sorry, my full time job. It's a bit easy. Um, I don't do very much, and if I do, it's sort of like stuff I already know. But it's sort of like I always have that worry, like I'll be stuck there forever, and I don't want to be stuck there forever. But it's not like I really have much else of like going for me. Uh, in the sense of like pursuing of, because I've never really known throughout my whole life. I've never really known what it is I wanted to do for the rest of it. And when you are someone that um you're taught from a young age, like you gotta know what you want to do for the rest of your life, and you try different things, whatever, or you don't try different things, and you just keep getting told, well, you gotta do this, that, whatever. Um, you kind of dishearten over yourself over time because you're not sure what it is you want to do. The computer stuff. Like I've talked about going for my CompTIA plus, um, and through a program I was didn't have to pay for it, but the issue of it is like you had to keep it up every 3 years. Um, and to get on the hands experience is difficult. And to be honest with you, I don't. I've built my own PC. That's great, but even I don't have the experience that's going to, um, that's going to be me being an expert or whatever, doing something long enough that I can feel confident being an expert. Like this, there's a few things maybe I can try, but at the end of the day, it's like, well, if I get no feedback, then it's sort of like just, spitting into the wind and have it spit right, slap right back in your face. And and yeah, so I don't particularly like my full-time job. I don't uh, care for it. If I could, I would do something that um, either involved computer stuff or just this. I mean, I wouldn't rely just on this, but if it did the point well enough that I could rely on it, I would still do a part-time job, but I could, I can enjoy talking with people and other stuff. Like I would build up that credibility, right? Like it's gonna be a while before people would come to me to say, "I want to be on your show." Because that's sort of the ultimate point of trying to do this is instead of what's the word, grinding to get people on, some of them start saying, "I'd like to come on your show," or whatever. They drop a link and a like. Um, but yeah, it'll always be this content creation thing will always be a not an enigma, but always be a learning. What's a good word? It will always be a learning journey. There we go. Always be a learning journey of how to do it, what to do about it. What can I uh, get better or whatever. It's just one of those things. And at times it can be disheartening. I know for small stuff, or at times it can be frustrating. At times it can be because there are people out there who, like with the content creator program, right? Like with Rumble, there's some people who are still upset that they didn't get in. And I understand that. I think it's been talked before, but the truth of the matter is that whether or not all the requirement rules were followed, whether or not you got into the program, the thing of the matter is though, is that you're here. What are you gonna do about it, right? Like I'm gonna be honest with you, they're combined between both YouTube and Rumble. I have two, so maybe 26, no, 27. So I have about 127 followers altogether. Some of them might be double, but it's just guesswork. Um, and people look like, oh, that's nothing or whatever, but like for me, that's a big thing. Um, some people would see it as even bigger. Um, but yeah, I'm always grateful for it. I'm always appreciative for it. If I can just get one, if I can do one more, if I can be better to some degree, right? Like I am right now. Right now, I am waiting on my returns because I've got my tax returns done. That's always every freaking year, tax returns, tax stuff is always going to be a heavy thing in your mind. But luckily, I have a family member family friend, sorry, not family member, family friend who we know that we can go to, and he's a really nice guy. He's a CPA. He's a CPA of sorts through another was a former coworker. Um, and to get that done and all stuff. So he's great at what he does. Um, but yeah, I hate tax season. It's always a bit of worry, like how much do I owe? What's this? What's that? And it's like, "Grr." um, but yeah, so I'm waiting for hopefully my tax returns because with that, I'll use some of it to one buy a new desk because like my desk is like I was telling JT, like it's been with me since my childhood, so it needs to go. It needs to go. It'll also allow me more room of putting my desktop, uh, like on a lower level, um, and all this stuff. Like a microphone, like one of those microphone things. Um, I don't know. There's just a bit, but hey, that's what I would want to do. with some of it. I want to at least get some better equipment. I think you can consider a desk better equipment, right? I think you can consider a desk better equipment. But so that's what I'm going to do with some of it. The rest of it is going to be either put in like what's the term? It's either going to be put in like other accounts for like part of saving up for a new car or saving up for a new car or um, investing because I do invest. I do like stock stuff. I'm not that great at it, to be honest. I just like use Robinhood or whatever. Um, or just putting aside for something else because technically, when you get a tax back, that's basically because you overpaid. Which, if it means I don't have to worry about owing the government, then overpaying is better than just not. Yeah, I know we shouldn't have taxes or whatever, but whenever people talk like, oh, get rid of taxes because, taxation is theft or taxation is not representation, whatever, I'm like, what are you doing to change that? Like, it's such a silly thing, right? Like, you hear that almost all the time, either on social media or whatever, but it's like, what are you doing to change that though, right? Oh, voting is like, voting seemingly is not working very well. So what else are you doing? And it's like there's no backup plan to that. It's like your vote counts. It's like, well, I mean, you could believe that, sure. I mean, we've all believed that for quite some time, but as time has passed on, technology has grown. People can get sophisticated in their trying to win thing. It's not always true. It's not always true. And there. And it just kind of gets tiring after all because it's like a broken record, right? Nothing changes. A lot of things are said, nothing changes. It's sort of like, well, why should you keep doing the thing if nothing's going to change? It's like that's I think at a certain point, whether it's an individual or a group of people, you kind of have to stop talking and start acting. Not like acting like doth protest too much. Oh, it's more of like you've gotta you've gotta stop chatting about it. You gotta stop complaining about it. Get it done. Like I don't like complaining because life's too short. I'm sorry, but the end result of life is death. So that's how it be, yo. Um, so you kind of just have to keep that perspective. It's like what is my complaining going to do if it's just complaining? What what's the difference between complaining about something and working towards accomplishing something, right? The difference is action. The difference is always action, right? It's always easy, from my perspective, it's always easy to just chat, complain, all this stuff. To do is the difficulty. It always is. It's the what's the word? It's the oh great. Now I'm gonna have to start fidget spinning for like a what is the word? What is the bloody word? It's sort of one of those things where um man, it's gonna be a day. I'm gonna be like it's 90 years later. It's like what was the word? Um, it's gotta be the change. That was the thing with Obama, right? It was hope and change, right? Words are great. Words can express mountains, uh, can express what you see in such lavish, extravagant ways. It can help build up. It can take down. It can be used on a love poem to one you want to get with or try to woo. I don't believe me. I don't ask me how. I'm not an expert. But words when it's just words of this shouldn't be the way it is or it's been this way forever, why doesn't it change? it's got to go beyond the comprehension of chat about it to doing something about it. And I I feel like that's where the issue is with most people, is just instead of chatting about it, do something about it. Take up the arm for yourself, whether it be for you or for others. Do the thing, or do the action or whatever it is to get the gumption to move forward. Is it gonna be rough? Yes. Life is a circus. Life can be a joke. Life can be a downward spiral turn. Life can be a bunch of things you don't want it to be, but it also could be something to hope about, to dream about, to be amazed by, to dance and sing and make praise out of it, whether it be in the happiest of times or the saddest of times, to make praise about it. um it, that's where change can happen. Change can be from any section point of life, whether you're 5 to 95. And believe me, life never stops changing. um and it never stops growing too. It's like with just look at Dick Van Dyke, right? Dick Van Dyke is 90 plus years old. One day he's gonna go. One day he's gonna go. But to still have him here, right? He's taking care of himself. I believe it was a long time ago on the Dick Cavett show, he talked about his drinking issues, which, back in the day, it was a social thing. It still is to some degree, but it was the social thing to do, and he kind of went a little too far and it affected his life. And to be honest about those things, like to be honest about if you're someone who drinks and either other people notice or you begin to notice this takeover of yourself. And while you don't want to admit it, I've seen other people, say, I can moderate. It's not that bad. Don't be like that. I can moderate. It'll be fine. But then they come to a point where like they can't moderate. Their words fail them because they cross that threshold, they cross the Rubicon, and they can't stick the landing. And so the words become a hollow mess because how can you still jiggle jaggle and still want people to believe you that you want to be better. Like that's this thing with, like, that's why stuff like AA exists, right? Like um the Alcoholics Anonymous, whatever. That's why the AA exists. Because yeah, it's mostly just for, what was it, alcoholics, but there are a lot of forms of addiction out there that are gonna require self-reflection, a support group, and taking the necessary steps to better oneself. Like it doesn't matter what it is, gambling, drugs, alcohol, porn, all that stuff. And it's the funny thing too, right? It's like um, no one's willing to talk about it too much. For some people, willing to talk about it to get downplayed. Like porn can be addictive. I'm sorry to tell you, the stories out there are not like, it's not like a simple, uh, because of science says. Well, science has a lot of things to say about it, but it's not always right. Um, but it's one of those things, like alcohol and drugs they talked about, but when you talk about pornography or whatever, that's sort of like the black sheep that's kind of shushed under the rug, and people don't want to take it seriously. Oh, you can't be, because there are some people who use that as an excuse or whatever. That's fine. Those are just weird people. But to the people who experience real depth of, I don't know what to do. I don't know. I don't know how to get out of this rut. I don't know how to lift myself up. I don't know how to get better at this because it's hard. It's so very hard. And you kind of, I've never been at an AA meeting, whatever. Although when I was at a job in the previous past, they did have an AA meeting at it. And of course, the thing of it was is that people who were trying to get off drinking went to smoking. So it was like you traded one thing in for another. It's like, oh, there you go. There you go. Um, so yeah, it's it's one of those things in life where you're just, you can feel bad about people who um goes through those issues, who go through those problems, and not to downplay anything because I'm sure some people use the excuse for it, but an addiction is addiction. It's simple as that. There is no difference of opinion. I mean, there's like different like what of the addiction, but right, like this right here. Candy Crush can be addictive. Watching your watching just YouTube all day can be addictive, right? Um, what's another good example? Eating the wrong foods and just getting fat. That could be an addiction to just poor health. But at the end of the day, you know, it's rough. It's very rough. There aren't much support groups for like, there's not like PAs. So that'd be weird. It's like PAs, pornographic anonymous. I don't know what it'd be called. Um, but yeah, it's very, very saddening when you can't have an honest conversation about all the addictions that there are. And almost anything can be an addiction nowadays, to be honest with you. But to the ones that have a difficulty of being free or feeling like they could be free, you can. The work is hard, though. And that discourages some people from wanting to get better. Now, you can leave all the religious sides to the side. You can better health stuff. It's all about being free. We talk about freedom of speech, right? We talk about freedom of, I'm not sure, United States more freedom and all this stuff, all these bill of rights. But what if you were doing something, right? And it'd be drugs, alcohol, some form of addictive substance or action, and it felt like you can never be free. Like you're just stuck in this endless cycle of just, I can't get out of it. I don't know how. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm too embarrassed to talk to anybody about it. I'm too um, scared that it will be used against me, which rightfully so, because both men and women can use these issues, use these vulnerabilities and weaknesses that over time have happened, and you kind of get scared of being honest with someone, because how can you be honest with someone when they just turn their back around and then they use these things as a hold or some sort of power move, right? Like forgiveness is not about, some people use forgiveness that way, right? Like, I've done you a favor, forgiving you, you must do one for me in return, or something like that. Forgiveness is about letting the causation of the sin go, right? Like, it's not, if they've done it to you, 10,000 times over, but you keep forgiving them, that's on you, right? You're not learning a lesson. But if they've done something to you once, right, and they want to get better, and you can see it in their eyes to some degree, right? You can't like predict that's what will happen, but you see it in their eyes that they want to get better, and they want to change. They thirst, they hunger for change that will allow them to be free to breathe, for peace, inner peace, right? I think a majority of us would want inner peace, right? Like we want that. It's like sort of like the sort of like that Seinfeld where George is like, serenity now, and they ended up not giving him serenity. But just imagine, right? Just imagine for a majority of your life, you've had trouble of quitting the thing, right? Whether it be drugs, alcohol, porn, your phone, the addictiveness of social media, this or that, and you just feel like there's no way out of it. And I can see why some people, end up expiring themselves because they feel like there's no way around it, right? Like who can you talk to? Who can you talk to about your, I mean, of course you have to be like confessional, whatever, at a church, but who can you talk to about your sins and not get judged for it, right? Who can you talk to about your sins, right? Who can you talk to just like, look, I've done this thing. I know it's wrong. I want to get better. I want to get better, but I don't know the path to take. I don't know. I don't know how to move forward to better thyself. There's that line, there's that phrase that some people say, it's like, physician, heal thyself, right? Physician, heal thyself. But how can you when you don't know the way, right? You can be a religious aspect, you can be like a life aspect, whatever, it's fine. But how do you move forward when you feel like you can't? Or how do you move forward when you've tried so many other things and just keep failing? And they just keep not moving you forward. How do you do it? Because sometimes for me, with this content creation stuff, it can get to you, right? Like there's some people who don't like. There's a person who doesn't want to come on because whatever reason, or you feel like the people you had on could have them on again, and they don't want to, whatever. People go back to where they were, or you feel like you're not getting, you're not seeing the growth you want to, or you're just like you kind of tear at your own head. Um, you're tearing at your own head, and for me, you know, I would let. I'll be honest with you. I do want to see this to continue to grow. I do want to see more people come, so I can outreach more, so I can have more people on. I'd see it's the only way that's gonna work is for me to have other people on, not just content creators, but just regular folk, right? Or big people, doesn't matter. The only way it's gonna work is if more people come on, or more people follow, or whatever, so that way I can connect more with more people in order to have the opportunity. Like I still have people, still trying to get people on, but it can get difficult, it can get tough, and when you don't, and when it's just you and you can't get anyone on, oh oh man, it feels like you're a failure, right? It feels like I've failed. Right? Like what do I need to do? What do I need to change? How do I change this? How do I make this better? What do I do? What do I do? And no one's willing to offer some form of constructive, you know, feedback, man, that can be a daunting task in itself. And it can be very disheartening because you want to do this thing that you enjoy, right? I can enjoy this. I don't care if you just listen to me ramble for an hour because that's what I usually do for my personal streams. My personal thing or goal or whatever, my personal note to hit every time I do a solo stream is just try to do an hour. If I feel like I can go beyond, I'll go beyond. But if I can't, I'll just stick with an hour and leave the going beyond to the other stream, the other times where there's a person on here or whatever. Because, it's not about can I do it. It's about, if I'm not feeling it, then just breathe. I've done my hour. I've done it. I've done a great job. And I say good day. I say good night, and then I go, do what else. But it can be disheartening when you're trying to feel like you're growing and it doesn't feel like you're growing. Like I won't lie. I do sometimes judge myself upon others of, you know, there's the same amount of time someone does as I am, and they've grown trifold or quadfold or whatever, and I'm just like, well, I'm happy for you, honestly, but what is it that I'm not doing that I can't get to that point? And you kind of have to let that portion go and just kind of do. You just kind of have to do. Um, I don't know ultimately in the end if I'll ever get to the point where this can be a self-sufficient channel or thing or whatever, or if it will be uh, it will just be me just talking to the void, making funny voices along the way, or if I'll be able to have 1 million people on, and I'm able to fill every day with just people, person after person after person, because it's it's amazing. It's amazing what I've accomplished so far, and that I'm proud of. I really am. But there's always the difficulty of grinding, and all the difficulty of like at some point you just want to give up because no one watches, no one cares, no one donates, no one likes, whatever. It's all this stuff that you feel and the expectation of should be. And when it's not there, you set yourself up for this vast pit of disappointment. It's like, what am I doing wrong? What do I need to do? Don't even excited. It's like, for me, I'm just gonna have fun with it. I'm just gonna come here, and if even if it means almost every show, well, not every show, but if it's just like every time I'm on your solo style, right? I'm just on your solo style. I'm just talking to myself. Yeah, that's okay. I know that still some people come and watch, after the fact. That's fine. But I keep connecting. I keep trying to reach out a lot. And like I say, if you're big or small, it doesn't matter to me. You're still someone. You're still something of matterance that I'd like to talk to you. All right. I'd like to have a conversation with you or whoever. Just it was a while ago, just trying to get someone on. I don't think she was joking about it, but she was like, little old me. And it's like, little old you, what? Why should that be a case? You're somebody, right? You're a person. I'd like to get to talk to you. And yeah, I know I probably could say it better. It's like, would you like to come on, sort of thing, like saying that. But I don't really know the way. I don't really know the way. I'm not a professional. I am me. Weird, goofy, probably trips over my words more times than not. Um, Probably doesn't know how to make this any better each time, but I'm here. I'm here. And while it is rough to feel like, um, like nobody cares if it's just me talking to myself, because I do talk to myself a lot. That's self talk, is what that thing is. To just have what I have now on either end, both YouTube and Rumble, to have either end is such a bonus. Such a bonus, right? And I know people, I know they go back, watch over the videos. I don't watch over my streams because I feel like I'm well enough that I don't need to go back and like analyze every bit of it, right? I'm not here to be the guy who's trying to analyze every second of it and just trying to get the up to 100,000 followers and 100K deals or whatever. It's just I'm here, and if someone wants to talk with me, fine. If someone doesn't want to talk with me, that's fine. I will be my own form of entertainment, whether or not that be the case. And I have been for a majority of my life. I've been my own form of entertainment, good or bad, right? Like the saying goes, you can be the best or worst critic of yourself, which is true for everyone, right? Oh, you shouldn't have done this. Why are you stupid? Why'd you do that? Blah 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 blah. After a while, it's just like It's like um, it's like punching yourself and saying, why do you keep doing this? And it's funny for some part, right? Like, comedy's like, you keep doing this. But it can be detrimental to whatever it is you're trying to go for, right? It's going to be detrimental. It can be very detrimental. Um, and I do hold some for myself. Like, again, like, I will use some of my tax money to buy a microphone, buy a better desk. Well, my desk, This desk is not a professional desk. It's like a compressed wood desk, but it's been with me since I was young. Probably since I was like a teen. That was like 20 something years ago, right? And it's still standing. And you have crap, stuff for that. But I've gotta update. I've gotta, at least do the small stuff I think will help improve, help better the space. Whatever, it may take a little time to get used to it, but it'll help better the space. Because again, I'm open to constructive criticism. I'm not open to those stupid troll people or whatever, or like you don't know what you're doing, blah blah blah. I haven't had that, but you kind of I'm kind of left to myself on that, and I try to ask respectfully of what better to do, but I do have a few ideas. Um, like I said, one Miss Snow had meant not on stream, off stream, then like some about a headshot. Um, you know, of this, not with the mic, well, not with the headset, but of just this. Um, and then getting a better microphone, which I will. I'm probably not like super professional. Like those things cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm not gonna spend unless I'm earning more. I know it's not something. I know it's something you hear, whatever. But for me, um, it helps when there's a little extra to help within that process of buying stuff. Of course, I can use that for like write-ups or whatever. But for me, um, it's hard to justify when it's out of my own paycheck, and of course, I got bills to pay and whatnot. Just like you. Anything after having a conversation with someone is a bonus. Like I've said yesterday, donos, likes, comments, followers, all of that is a bonus to me because I never thought I'd be here in that way and in another way. But I never thought I'd be here. I never thought I'd be creating content and people would want to watch, whether it's while I'm live or not. Whether it's while I'm live or not, you know. Ooh, ooh, man, oh man, I'm trying to. So yeah, that's the thing too, right? It's like for me, for health wise, I'm trying to one stay away from eating like totally, bad foods. Like a lot of candy and stuff, a lot of pop. I drink pre. I think I've shown it before. I drink. I'm trying to drink more of this prebiotic soda, like Poppy or another one, and it's just like because it has the calories. It's like 25 or whatever. I'm not sponsored or whatever. I'm just saying because this is a lot better. The ingredients, if you read the ingredients, this is a whole lot better than regular soda. There's some sugar in it, but it's like compare this to Coca-Cola. This is vastly better, vastly better. And there are some things like I still eat chips. I try to find chips that are a little more healthy. I know I've probably said in the past, but whatever. And again, of course, so I'm choosing healthier options of junk food type things. But um, but yeah, uh, I'm trying to. So for March, right? So for March, for me, on March, all of March, because I'll be honest, I have what's the term? I get my blood taken in sometime in April. I think it's the second week of April or whatever, because of high cholesterol stuff. It kind of runs on my side of the family, so they want me under a certain number. I feel like I'm already feeling, but for the rest of like for now until the blood test, uh, I'll make this here now so it's public. I will not eat out at all. I mean, if family invites me or whatever, I'll go, but I won't eat at the restaurant. And the reason for that is that one, finances, it kind of saves me a penny, but also because I don't eat unhealthier foods, right? Like I buy breads that are better, for me. Like, I know some people say cut out the breads, whatever. But I'm eating more fibrous wheat stuff, like wheat. I take like a form of I take Metamucil. I do this and that um, to just have a better chance of getting this cholesterol down. Because fiber helps that, right? Fiber, enough fiber, and it'll help better with that. Um, but yeah, eating out has been an issue that I've struggled with for a very long time. And I'm not saying it's wrong to eat out. Um, if you go on special occasion, that's fine. It's just that sometimes it seems like it's more of, because it's finances too, right? Like a big chunk of my paycheck probably goes to eating out more, next to groceries and paying for my bills and stuff. But not eating out from this point on until the blood test is one of my thoughts of bettering my odds of having my cholesterol go down to at least a better stance than what it was last time. I don't care. Because last time I got it from like 350 to 311 or whatever. If I can get it less than that, right? Less than 311, then in a better position. Does it mean I still won't want to eat like at an Italian restaurant or a Burger King, whatever? No, I'll still want to eat at those things, but it's about self discipline, self control. And I have a bad time with that. I have a bad time. Like, at one point, right? At one point, I left my debit card at home, right? I hid it, obviously, but I left my debit card at home. So that way, I would be forced, unless I had cash in my wallet, I would be forced to come and eat at home what I had, right? Like I do deli meats, but I'm trying to choose healthier ones. I have bread that's mostly like wheat or seed or whatever, on a better scale. I am trying to choose a healthier path, but it's still just tough. It's still rough. Um, because I'm trying to give myself a better chance with this cholesterol deal. It's rough when you hear on your one of your parents' side, right, that they have high cholesterol, and it's a struggle for other family members on that side of the family. Because I'm going to say this right now. I do not want to end up having to take high cholesterol meds for the rest of my life. I don't. I don't. I will fight it. I will fight until I am on the floor about to have a heart attack before I take any medication, because I got to change this lifestyle here. Right? I've got to change this lifestyle here in my head, not my hand, but my head, because that's where it has to be first. I'm not I'm not here to aim for a six pack. I know that's like, women, if you want to attract the opposite sex, you kind of have some sort of look appeal. Like, look at my dressing, right? Like, I will probably try to put on my flannel shirt more. Maybe that's a little more attractive, you know what I'm saying? But for me, personally, it's about the health. It's about getting better so that I can accomplish something that I thought I never would. I'm doing it right now. I'm doing something that I'm not right now. Oh, hey, Chewy. How are you today? You're already catching me close to the. Well, thank you. Yes, and I'm not a sir. I'm a. Well, you can call me sir. I don't care. Yes, I'm doing well. Thank you. I hope you're doing well too. You just caught me in the middle of a health rant, so I'm gonna finish. I didn't see that. I'm gonna finish, because I don't wanna. I'm not gonna last very long unless I'm talking to someone else, and you're not gonna stay very long. So I'll just have myself to talk to. As usual. but um, but yeah, I will fight tooth and nail to not have to take high cholesterol meds in order to get this better, so that it becomes a natural process, so that I don't have to do that. right? Like my sister and her husband, they're more healthy fit. You know, they do for their kids too. I'm not a health nut. I know I probably will never have a six pack, although less belly fat would be nice. But I'm tired. I'm tired, boss. I'm real tired. I don't count. Well, you still count. It's just, you know, you're here and you've got other stuff you want to do. So, you know, don't worry about it. It's just you count. I'll count you. I'll count you. Daramoose. Daramoose. I don't know if you want to do like the end with Daramoose. It's a little. I think you're. Spell check. Spell check. I'll see what. I'll see what you're saying. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I don't give a rat's behind. You know, interrupt. I don't care. Let's make this a party. Woo! I was just talking about some health stuff because uh, in April, in the mid of April, I have to go in for a blood test to make sure, you know, to see if I've got my um, cholesterol down because my one of my parents' side of the family has issues, um, and so and it affects her. You know, it affects my mom's side of the family. That's who it's on. It affects my mom's side of the family, um, and they some of the my family members have trouble with it. But for me, I one, I've got to prove to myself I can do it. And obviously I've proved myself with this content creation thing, I can do something that even if a million people aren't watching, there's enough people that I'll keep going. And even if it's down to one person, I'll keep going. Um, but yeah, it's just a rough thing, you know, it's just a rough thing to try to fight for health. And I want to fight for my health. I want to have better health. Uh, yeah. Spell my name wrong. Yeah, you did. Punk. Such a old Jewish lady trying to come after me about all this stuff. You're lucky I'm nice. you're lucky there. You're lucky there's no gulag around here. I'm just joking. But yeah, that's my aim. That's my aim is to get my health better. Now I'm watching on all platforms. Yeah, okay, look at you. Look at you. Oh, Miss Smarty Pants. Look at you. Look at you. Aren't you just precious? Aren't you just precious? And all your glory. This is true. Yeah. This is true. But yeah, so that's my aim. So for now until I don't want to say till the end of March. I want to say till my day of getting my blood test done. I am giving up eating out. And it's funny thing is like wrong type of camp. Oh, you're about to find what kind of camp I'll put you in. Anyway, she knows I can say that to her. Um, but what is it? But yeah, from now until my blood test, I'm giving up. I'm not doing the whole Lent thing. I'm not. I'm not like those Catholics who's like, I'm giving it up for this. You can give up anytime you want for this Lent ordeal. For me, it's health. For me, it's health, and I'm giving up eating out. And a funny thing is like I found a Mexican food truck a while back nearby. All right. See you later. Have fun in your Discord. Try not to get into too much trouble, because you know I know you can get into too much trouble. She's the kind of gal who could run a ship aground if you get my drift. But anyway, but yeah. Um, so that's what I'm choosing. I'm doing it publicly because then I'd be like, oh, I bet you fell off. I'm like, nope, not today, not today. And like I said, even if I go to a restaurant with family, I won't eat out. I'll probably get a glass of water and that'll be that. But there's got to be a time and place where you take back your health, right? Instead of relying on all these medications, instead of relying on all these doctors to tell you, oh, all this is wrong, even though we've seen that Some are as honest as you like them to be. Bettering your health shouldn't be a thing that should look down upon. Bettering your health shouldn't be something that's considered a, a disaster of sorts, right? It shouldn't be considered that. And that's for me. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna better my health. I'm gonna try to, man, working out more. Yes, I try to go like at least for a walk for 30 minutes. Thing of it is though is that when I go for a walk, I also go out and collect trash when I do it. Not like collect trash because I'm gonna do something with it, but it's just like in your neighborhood. Like if you were to go out, if your neighborhood was all right, you don't have to worry about daytime. Right, go out at daytime, and you were to go out and collect trash, you would be surprised of how much trash is on the ground in your own neighborhood. It's funny how that works, isn't it? We worry about garbage in our own ocean, but we can't take care of the garbage in our own neighborhood, or people can't pick up after themselves. And sometimes the wind blows it in, understandable, but um, you know, it helps motivate me to do something more than um, just go for a walk. Because I like go for a walk and listen to music, but with with it coming to be warmer outside, uh, I'd rather stay outside more during the daytime, right? Not during the nighttime, but during the daytime. Stay out more in the warmer weather than just sit in a chair. And some of these people who do content creation do it for hours and hours on end. I can't. I literally can't. I mean, if there is a great conversation with another person or some people, sure. But I can't do it more than. Like right now, I'm surprised I'm going this far. So, but it is the top of the hour. Sorry. It is the top of the hour. So I do promote. So give me a moment to promote and I'll go on a little longer, maybe 10, 15 minutes, but not much longer after that. So I know you'll get tired of me saying this. I do this promotion in order for one, so that more people have the opportunity to hear and see me, and that more people I have connection to more people so that they can come on and we have a conversation, big or small, it doesn't matter. So I'm on Rumble and YouTube and Discord under at Daramouthe. I stream to both YouTube and Rumble. Hold on. Sorry. Sorry. That was for I know some people burp on stream, but I try to at least keep some decorum. So Rumble, YouTube, places I stream to. I'm not one of those people that's going to stream to one platform or put all my content on one platform because I don't believe a platform should own your stuff. I know that's kind of weird. That's kind of backhanding in a sense because they still have their stuff on if I don't download it and keep it. But if one platform has it and I don't upload it anywhere else, that's a bad sign, at least from my perspective. Anyway, I stream to those two places. I have a Twitter X fan account um, at Daramouthe. I have Discord, but I don't have my own server. I really am not. I've heard horror stories of Discord servers, and I'm just really not interested in trying to keep a wrangle on it. It'll be just like my main contact in case the fan account goes awry or whatever, because Twitter X likes to be non-free speech at times. Um, but you can find me on Rumble and YouTube. I don't have a set schedule, but I do try to at least do 3 days a week at 7 p.m. for those days to at least give a consistency. But when I have guests on, they're sort of like the misnomer because I work around their schedule to have them on. Um, but if you want the opportunity, right, in the description below, there are ways to contact me. Email, my email. Well, not my direct email, but is another email because you know how the internet is. It's an email I use. You can contact me there. You can DM me on Discord at Daramouthe. You can contact me at the fan account at Daramouthe on Twitter X. I'll continue to call it Twitter X till the day of whatever because that's what it is. It's stuck in between both spaces. So if you want the opportunity to come on and you just wanna talk whatever, right? You wanna just have a conversation about whatever. Go to those places. Leave a message, leave a note, whatever, and say, I'd like to come on. Simple, right? Simple. I'm trying to make it as many ways possible as people to have an opportunity to say, I'd like to come on, because I still grind to get to have people on, even though I'm not big or whatever. I'm not rich and famous, guys. I'm just me, right? I'm just me. But those are the places you can find me. That's where you can find me streaming, whether it be at YouTube or Rumble. Um, I will try, like I was talking to JT yesterday. I don't know if I ever will, because they're big people. But maybe, hopefully, one day, uh, Rick, if you ever see this, I would like to have you on sometime. I know you're a busy guy. I know, um, I know I'm not that huge or important or whatever, but it would be nice to sit down and have a conversation with you about whatever, right? I don't. It doesn't have to be about your work, like your current work. It can be about your past work, but not current work. It doesn't have to be a Q&A. I'm not. I'll be asking you questions. You can ask me questions, but it won't be like whatever. But we'll just have a good time. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. I don't know if he'll ever see it or not, but that's what I'm gonna try to do. He'll probably just say no, it can't. That's fine. But anyway, again, Rumble, YouTube, at Daramouthe. If you want to be able to come on, down below in the description, there's 3 ways to get to me. Use any one of them, and we'll have discussions about getting you on and stuff. Because I'm telling you right now, there are a whole lot of people who have a lot to say, and I'm willing to sit down and chat with them. I'm not gonna sit down and chat with, you know, troll people who just want to destroy. I'm not here to talk to debaters or argumentative people. You just have a conversation to laugh, to enjoy life. Because I'm telling you right now, there are too many people out there who are willing to end it because they can't find the bright side of life. They can't find the little spot in this huge, huge universe. Forget Earth. To go beyond it, to the universe, and to find your space in this place instead of just ending yourself for no apparent reason. For that feeling that there's nothing for you, for me, is wrong, because there is. You just gotta look for it. So anyway, come find me at those places. Come chat me up those places, and yeah, we can get something started. So, all right. So I may go for a little more. Um, I am not, I'm not someone who's gonna be like, I can get out for too long, blah blah blah. But I did come up with a few things to say. So it's like, yeah, it is very disheartening when you see teens, adults, um, end themselves because they feel there's no way out, there's no light at the end of the tunnel, there's no hope beyond all hope. Um, there is. Life is what is life. Life is what you make of it, right? Like, life is what you put into it. It's difficult. It's rough. Sometimes you aren't given the tools. Some kids grow up without any. Um, some kids grow up without any well-meaning teachings, if that makes sense. Um, and so they kind of grow up in life not feeling like they can get beyond that, border wall, right? They can't move forward. Um, and believe me, I've been there too in the past. I've had those kinds of thoughts, but I'm not going to. I'm not gonna. One, I'm a bit of a too coward to do it, and two is like, I know there's a piece of place out there, even if it's just like a small few acres of land or whatever, that can be my own space, my own place, right? and call it that. I would have accomplished something that I thought I never could. With this content creation, right? I've accomplished something I never thought I could. And I'm not that much outgoing, right? I'm not that much outgoing in real life. But to be able to sit across on a screen and talk to people who I never thought I would have that opportunity, it is a surprising factor. I started this thing since August of 2023, right? So that's about 7, 8 months. I don't know. It's sometimes time flies by. To have this point in time, to even have one person donate to me, and I can remember the person who donated to me, Happy Mars. Happy Mars was the first person who donated $2. And so that's what I do with my pay it forward is I know most of it's gamers, right? Like there's a bunch of uh, heavy religious, heavy political, or heavy conspiracy stuff that I'm kind of iffy on, but I'll try anyway. But to see what a few amount of dollars and a like in a video does to somebody, even if they never make it to the top of the top, to see what something small can do. That's why I call it pay it forward, right? You can call it a raid. You can call it whatever you want. I call it paying it forward, right? There's that movie Pay It Forward that stars Haley Joel Osment or whatever. And it's been a long time since I've seen it, right? I don't remember much about it, so don't ask. Right? I don't don't ask me to recite a movie I can't remember much about it. But to have something as paying it forward to give, even if you don't give back, right? Because I think a lot of people give in order to feel like they're getting something back. They want something back. If I give a gift, if I give a gift and I expect to have something back, that's not giving a gift. That's giving a what's the word? That's giving a trade. That's a trade-off. I am trading this thing in order to get something in return. Be mindful of giving, for giving is of the self. Now, obviously, you got to take care of yourself, right? You got to take care of yourself. You've got to, you got to, whether it be health or whatever, take time for yourself, mental, whatever. But to give just a little. And I'm not talking like panhandlers, right? I see too many panhandlers where I live, and it's just like it feels like take advantage of people's kindness and gratitude, but to give, right? For my pay it forward, right? To give a little. One person on their stream, I give $2 stating, hey, fellow Rumbler, glad to see you. Glad to see what you're doing. Keep it up. Keep going strong. Give it a like. And if they don't notice it, that's fine. The point of the matter is it's not about giving in order to get something back. Giving to how do I word it? It's giving in order. How do I word that? How do you word that? It's giving towards what may not have thought they would have gotten some return, like me, right? Like I never would have thought I would have gotten a dono. Of course, Rumble's day one monetization, right? But never in my wildest dreams would I thought I would have gotten a dono from somebody. A Rumble rant, sorry. I never thought, because with YouTube you have to wait for like 1,000 people to follow and 4,000 hours. I'm sorry, Rumble beats you on that by a mile, by a whole mile. I would not make it. But for someone to just give $2, and I'm making content that 100 other people are making, and so they can ignore or whatever, but to be given $2 for just, hey, I like what you do. That's powerful. And I expect nothing in return. You don't know. I know the saying, you don't know what you got till it's gone, which is true. But you don't know what you give. You don't know the power of giving until, how do I word this? You don't know the power of giving until it comes back to you in a way that you never expected. Like when I do my pay it forward streams, right? It's been this insane thing, right? I never expected it, but it's been the same thing. When my stream is done, right? I never pay attention to notifications, whatever. But when my stream is done, I've had people follow me back. I've had people follow me back, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm just kidding, because you don't see a lot of. I know there are people who do Rumble raids, but they don't give any. They give people, but that only lasts for so long. I give on the monetary aspect because at least it does something more than just views, right? I know people want views and all that stuff, but giving a monetary value and a like helps in saying, hey, I've stopped by, I've seen your stuff, keep going. Even if it doesn't go any more beyond that, I hope to see you again. Because you never know what's going on in someone's life. That small little P, that small little I don't want to say P. I just don't want to say P. That small thing of gratitude or gift or whatever, you never know how it's going to affect someone, how it's going to be the most smallest of things, right? The most smallest of things can be the most powerfulest, and you never would know it until it comes back to you, and you get told, you know what? Uh, I was one of those streams. I've been doing this stuff forever. I never thought in my wildest dreams someone would just donate a few bucks to me and um, donate a few bucks to me and I would lose my breath. Not like lose, like they pass out and die and stuff, but they lose their breath like it's a moment of breathlessness, as if the most obvious thing in the world, right? The most obvious thing in the world. And I know, social media content creation, it doesn't represent the rest of stuff like feeding the hungry or whatever. But for such a few thing to create a powerful impact that just says for one moment or a few moments, if I come back to you on another pay it forward stream, that you're noticed. That someone's like, I saw you. I'm giving you this. Enjoy the rest of your night. And continues to do the others. I don't expect anything in return. I don't expect anything in return, but I'm always surprised when there is, because I didn't think I'd be here doing this. It's a hard thing to say without just you know, wussing out. So I won't shy too much from that, but I won't get too all glowy eyed on you. Um, that's why I have these. I'm gonna hide. But you never know how much something small can make biggest of impacts. And you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Like I know people, they may not be able to give money, they can give likes, they can give follows. That's in their right of what they want to do. But for me, I give a like, I give some chat, I give Rumble rant. I do it on Rumble because I believe in what Rumble's going towards. Still has its growing pains. is still gonna get better, but I believe it will get to the point where those growing pains will seem like a thing of the past. Um, so, you know, it may not seem like much, but I'm always appreciative, even if they don't chat, even if they don't like, even if they just come by and listen, right? Because some people just listen, instead of watching. I am thankful. I'm always thankful and appreciative of those who do. Whether you give a like, comment, don't know, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You've given something to someone who didn't think they'd be here, who didn't think they could accomplish this, right? Like I'm not gonna be Markiplier, but it feels pretty good. It feels pretty good when I can get other people on and have a conversation with them and all that jazz. So I'm always thankful, I'm always appreciative, and no matter what, whether it be a few people during my live stream and many more watching after, it's amazing. It really is. And um, that's why I do my pay it forward. That's why I do my pay it forward. Because I understand what the small thing means. Because I've had it happen to me. Maybe some people will be unappreciative of it, and that's fine. You do what you do. But at the end of the day, I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm enjoying getting to talk to many different people. Um, I'm getting to do something again like I never thought I'd be able to do. I was very I wasn't very confident in myself in doing this. I didn't believe that I could ever do it, but I took a risk. I took a chance, and here I am. That that little piece of paper right there, that's one membership on my Rumble. One. And of course, I follow her back as a member on hers. But I didn't think I'd get that. I didn't think I'd get close to 100 people on my Rumble. I didn't think I'd get 30 people on my YouTube. Well, 29, sorry. 29 to make sure I'm not being too exaggerated or whatever. I didn't think I'd have that. And so I am inspired to see what will beyond 100 people, right? Like I'm two away from 100. Two away from 100. I know that's not going to do anything, but I'm two away from 100. I'm one away from 30 on YouTube. Um, I'm grateful. I'm thankful. And I appreciate all of you. Sincerely. Um, and that's why I do my pay it forward, to show at least some form of appreciation. Because you never know what something small can mean to someone else. And yeah, I know I probably could try it on other platforms, but I don't make a whole lot of money right now. And I'm really trying to push supporting Rumble. Rumble has its faults. Rumble has its growing pains. But I see the future that it could lead to, as long as they're willing to listen, as long as they're willing to update, as long as they're willing to improve, they're continuing to move toward a better direction than they were 6 to 7 years ago. Let's just say during their couple of years being on in 2013, and from that beginning area, they're doing a whole lot better. So again, I'm ended here. Um, YouTube, Rumble, at Daramouthe, fan account at Twitter X at Daramouthe, on Twitter X at Daramouthe, Discord, email, Twitter X. It's all down in the description below. If you want to be able to say something and you're not disrespectful or whatever, sorry, then I implore you, come on, let's have a conversation. I don't bite. But come on, let's have a conversation. Let's get to it. Let's have fun. Because life is as short as a candle in the wind. Yeah, I know, Elton John song, but it's true. So, go down to my link in my description, whether it be on YouTube or Rumble. Take a chance. Like that ABBA song. Take a chance, take a chance, take a chance. But anyway, thank you guys for coming out. Uh, thank you, Chewy, for coming out. And thank anyone else who came out to watch. And I thank anyone else who comes after to watch this coming out. Tomorrow at I think 6. I'll be posting on Twitter X. 6 or 7. I have Jen back on again. Nice to have her back on. Her schedule's always a bit of a mess, so she had a day, and I said let's do it. And then Friday, I have the Pant Forestry. That's gonna be a double feature. Friday's gonna be a double feature, so I may just play it through to I Am Nibs. I Am Nibs is my guest on Friday, and I'm trying to get more next week. I've got one. I'll have to relook at my schedule, but again, I offer the same opportunity to almost anyone to come on, have a conversation, and have a good time. So, anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye.